Hey class, today we'll be going over the file systems available in Windows and Linux. We'll also touch on some of today's most popular storage solutions and the ethical considerations that go with using them. When it comes to the file structure of Windows and Linux operating systems, there isn't too much that they have in common. Both systems organize disk-based files into a hierarchy of directories, and one whole hierarchy is called a file system. They both use the master block record to boot and state if the disk is partitioned. On both systems, it is common to have one file system per partition. Moving on to the differences between the two operating systems. On Windows, peripherals like hard drives or printers are considered devices, where on Linux they are considered files. Windows files are stored in different folders in data drives, and Linux files are ordered in a tree structure starting with the root directory. In Windows, you can't have two files with the same name in the same folder, but in Linux, you can have two files with the same name in the same directory. In Windows, system and program files are commonly saved in the C drive, compared to Linux, where you would find these files in different directories. After comparing both operating systems, I tend to lean towards using Linux for business. The operating software itself is free, and so are many of the programs you can use on it. It requires less resources from your computer, meaning that you can do more with less. This saves you money on upgrades and allows you to use older hardware longer. There are less vulnerabilities due to the open source review from industry professionals. Windows is used by more people, and that encourages hackers to create attacks for it. Amazon Glacier is a low-cost storage service offering secure and fast storage for data archiving and backup. Amazon Elastic Block Store provides block-level storage to use with Amazon EC2 instances. Amazon Web Services Storage Gateway securely connects on-premise software with cloud-based storage. Azure Blobs is Microsoft's cloud solution for unstructured data such as text or binary. Azure Files manages file shares for cloud on-premise deployment. Azure Queues is a storage service designed for large quantities of messages. Azure Tables provides non-SQL cloud storage for structured, non-relational data. Azure Disks is block-level storage used to run virtual machines. When it comes to Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure, they have competing products for just about everything. AWS launched in 2006 and is considered by many to be the best cloud computing service out. Azure emerged shortly after in 2010 and has been making a splash in cloud computing, analytics, networking, and more. The service that is going to be best for your company depends on your goals and current situation. You can reference the comparison above to see some key differences to consider when choosing the solution that's right for your company. When considering data storage ethics, you must take ownership into consideration. If you're collecting others' information and storing it, you should have express written consent. You must also be transparent on how you plan to store it. Privacy should be at the top of your list of priorities. If a user has entrusted you to collect data and store their personally identifiable information, you should do your best to ensure your company is the only one with access to it. Lastly, you should take your intention into consideration and ask yourself, why are you storing this data? Is it something that needs to be stored? Does this intention align with the values that your company stands for? When choosing your storage solution or file system, there are many things to consider. By comparing the web services and operating systems available, you can come to a conclusion for yourself on what the best choice is for your company. The references above are a great starting point on where to look. Please reach out to me if you have any questions, and thank you for your time.